Hey guys, my name is Angela. I'm 22 years old and I've lived in New York City since 2017. I can't complain about it. There's so many people who dream about moving to New York, and it's like Sinatra said, if you can make it here, you'll make it anywhere. And I was making it, but the universe had other plans for me. I lived really close to Wall Street and the Brooklyn Bridge. From the rooftop, I could see the Statue of Liberty, and it was almost like living in a movie. Sometimes, if you're lucky enough, maybe you'd find Woody Allen or Robert De Niro on the streets. I studied arts at Hunter College in Manhattan, and then I worked at a nearby coffee shop. I guess you could say I'm a professional barista, but what I really want to do is be an actress and perform on Broadway. I know that's not easy to do, and everybody wants to do it, but I'm confident I can make it. I really believe that this city is perfect for me, even though I knew it was going to be hard to fit in. But that's the beauty of New York. Everyone is different. So even if you don't fit in, you kind of fit in for the fact that you don't fit in. My apartment wasn't a big one because, well, I worked as a barista. Still, I was happy with it, and it was in a nice area. Not fancy by any means, because New York is expensive as hell. But the place where I lived was nice enough. And that was fine by me. I always had new neighbors because a lot of tourists would rent Airbnbs in the building. It was really fun. In 3 months' time, I met people from Brazil, from Portugal, France, Boston, and China. I don't live alone. I have a Yorkshire Terrier. His name is Andy, and he's with me every day. We used to take long walks through the city. We would go to Central Park and play with other dogs, and he would sleep on the grass. I really miss him. I know it's not my fault, but I feel guilty that Andy's not here anymore. It's pretty normal to see helicopters flying through New York. They could be police helicopters for the news, of tourists, photographers, whatever. I remember I would see them often from my window. I never imagined that something like this would happen to me, or to anyone actually. I remember it very clearly. It was a rainy night and I was drinking tea watching The Umbrella Academy on Netflix because everybody was talking about it. Suddenly I heard a helicopter nearby, and at first I didn't really pay any attention, but the sound was getting louder and louder. I turned to the window and I panicked. The helicopter was about to crash into my apartment. I dropped my mug of tea and ran as fast as I could toward the door. I went downstairs and heard how the helicopter crashed. There were so many sounds at once: glass shattering, explosions, concrete falling, people screaming. I was in shock. My heart was beating so fast. I threw up on the stairs, like I couldn't even control it. Then I fainted and I hit my head. I remember waking up at the ER. A doctor and a police officer explained to me what had happened. An out-of-control helicopter had crashed into my apartment. And I guess that my dog didn't make it. The pilot of the helicopter and a couple of Chinese tourists that were staying on the same floor also didn't make it. It was a huge tragedy. People kept talking about it for weeks. I had to try to find a way to tell my parents that I was all right, but I didn't have my phone. I tried to relax and wait for a few hours until I was discharged from the hospital. Some of my neighbors contacted the hospital asking about me and offering for me to stay with them. I was grateful. But truthfully, something changed inside me, and I don't think I can live in New York anymore. I called my best friend Annie. Now I'm living with her in Hoboken. It's right across the water from Manhattan, but it's got a totally different feel. My family wants me to move back in with them in Tampa, Florida, but I don't want to do that. Maybe I'll just stay in Hoboken. I don't want to give up my career and my dreams, but I have to admit, I'm afraid of being in New York. I loved seeing the huge skyscrapers, and now I can't even look up while I'm on the streets. I can't even look through a window when I'm in a building. What do I do? Should I move to LA? That's not much better. For the past few weeks, I've been going to therapy to try to overcome what happened. It's hard, but I'm trying my best. Maybe that's why Hoboken is a perfect option. It's not far from the city, and it doesn't have really tall buildings, and there's no helicopters, at least not anywhere like New York. Every time I see a Yorkie, I hear a helicopter, or I hear people talking about the Umbrella Academy, I start to freak out. It's hard living when you're afraid of a place that you always wanted to live in, but I need to get it together if I'm going to make it here and anywhere, right? What do you guys think I should do? Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and comment below. Let me know what you think. Thanks, guys.